The art desk that I use is great. It's a 50-50 split with my computer on the opposing side, but there are issues. While working on my last Mr. Krabs video, I ran into a bunch of small but annoying problems. Just stuff that breaks the flow. Like when I'm mid-painting and realize the thing that I need is across the room, and the project's paint that I am working on is drying while I scramble for it. I tried solving it last time by keeping everything on the desk, which destroyed my workspace. My monitor doesn't swivel, leans too far to the left, and has awful viewing angles. My lights, too close. They glare on the camera lens and don't light up the front of whatever I'm working on in that given moment. And don't get me started on the camera drift. But that all changes today. I'm fixing the flow, fixing the setup, and adding a few little luxuries while I'm at it, if everything goes to plan. The first upgrade, I look like I need to get more modest. The first upgrade that I want to do is take these lights that are behind me and extend them forward towards me, towards you, okay, towards us, so we can light up the front of a project. Let's do a quick example. We are in front of the lights and at a reasonable distance from my arms so I can get up close and personal. I have paintbrush in my hand and I would like to paint it onto model. Ah, very cool, very fun. I can see it, but camera hates it. This is a blob right now, but if I move it back, significantly better. Also, we have that glare from the light. We will address that later. So our plan, take this, extendo. Also, I want to find a place to mount this on-off switch, and I also want it to match the H-bar that is already up. Let's see if anything will work. So, I sat down and began modeling, making sure that the thickness of the extender was the same thickness as the H-bar over the desk. And I had also decided to make it extend 4.5 inches, because that's what I found would be best for my very specific situation. I hope you can hear me over this thing. That's horrible. Actually, I'm not even sure if it's picking it up. Anywho, before I even started filming this video, I had already printed a couple test prints, including this, which is obviously our light extender. I have a little attachment on the end so you can change the positioning of the light and stuff, and also on the other end so you can attach it straight to a clamp or something that would connect to the H-bar. So I do not think at all that this looks like the H-bar. These little divots are too big and it doesn't have like the little lip here at the top. So we gotta make some changes. But this thing's loud, so let's give her some privacy. The new extender we just designed is so much better than that print I just showed you. The clamp works great, it's a tight fit without the clamp even tightened, and I think I got it pretty perfect with how well it matches the H-bar. But I do have some complaints. I'm sure you've noticed the print is a little bit sloppy. The layer lines are bad, and the clamp's roundness was taken from it. Also, my 1/4-20 hole is too shallow, and maybe a tiny bit too big, because the bolt just spins completely freely whenever it's in there. So, I fixed all of those mistakes, and also added an extra feature to put on the other side of the light. Instead of attaching the on-off switch to the extender itself, it's an attachment that I can slide or screw on to any of the 4 sides on the light. Now, you might have noticed I don't have diffusers, and that's mainly because I usually use Walmart bags, and they are ugly. So ugly, in fact, that I don't want them in my video. It feels a little trashy, literally. But if you don't know what a diffuser is, it's typically a white sheet that you would put in front of a light in order to dissipate that light, resulting in softer shadows. But I can't do that here, only because I need a sewing machine, and I also don't want to learn how to sew right now. That's a completely different video. So I'm asking a friend. So for my diffuser, I pretty much want a sleeve for my lights. One side is a single layer, and the other side is a double layer, just for a choice of variation. I want a small hole for my controller thing to come out of, and I want it to be a relatively snug fit. And I asked her if she could do one more for my small light as well, but with only a double layer. She complied and proceeded to attach an elastic strap to the back so I can still get to the buttons and display. Truly a visionary. My monitor on my art setup shows me what I'm recording so I can see, well, what I'm recording, but it's way too high for me to view while I'm in the middle of arting. I cannot move it any further down because I don't want it to be in frame, obviously. obviously, since I don't have the chance to look at it while focused at the task at hand, the thing that I am arting seems to drift out of view, making me miss key parts in the recording. So, I want to add lasers, the straight kind, the kind you might see on a level, and have them show me my viewing area by sitting right outside of the frame, casting a rectangle onto the desk so I know where to keep the subject. I want them to be able to angle in and out to adjust for tight or wide shots, and also be able to turn the brightness up and down. So, I decided to just jump straight into wiring a test for what I am now calling the laser framer. I just want to make sure that my blueprints work before I get to making the real thing. Alright, nice. Hey, that one is dialed in, son. How do I make all of them like that? Oh. Dang, that is gonna be slick, dude. As you could see, I was very excited and could not wait to hook up the potentiometer to the lasers to test it out. So excited, in fact, that I forgot like 25% of what I was even supposed to put in for it. Okay. Oh shoot, where was this bad boy supposed to go? Did I make a mistake? Oh. I proceeded to hook the board up to my computer to find out that it does not work and my computer will not read my board. After an hour and a half of research, with Reddit saying I have an outdated chip or even the wrong chip, I was lost. Until I figured out what it actually was. Hello? I got it working. See, look. Everything that I had was correct. It was just my USB port, so I think we're good, but I did have a spare one of these cords laying around so I could actually feed it to like further away cable. I don't know how I had a spare like 20-foot USB-A cable. Anywho, came in handy. Motors and maybe a spool of solid innard wire, stuff that you can bend really easily. So I can make this look really pretty and also make it a lot more functional so I'm not dealing with, well, it's not happening anymore, but you get my drift. That I have work in the morning and it's like 11 at night, so. The next day I continued with the project by hooking up a motor with a potentiometer to see if the code works, and first try, actually it seems to be working. Other than the loose wiring, of course, but I think we are actually ready to wire this thing up. This part is boring, so I'm not going to show too much, but to keep you up to date with the goofy stuff, the servos are wired directly to the power supply through the barrel jack, because they pull too much power to be plugged into the 5-volt pin, and all of the wiring is the same as before, other than neater, shorter wires. Now, we are not done with this, but we do need to move on to a different project before we are able to continue this one. I really need an easy way to detach my camera from the art side and bring it over to wherever else I need it. I've already gone through the modeling and trial and error, so you don't have to suffer through that with me, but I will get you up to date. I started with this. It's okay, but it simply just doesn't do what I need it to. I thought it would be too weak, so I added extra supports that were way too strong. Anyway, I took them off and got this. It works swimmingly, though I did break a wall on the female end at one point. But after a couple of revisions, we have this. The way it works is I have a point on this little springy part here that I can pinch so I can insert it into the female part. But wait, I have one thing I haven't done yet. I have to take that clippy part of that little attachment thing that I just made and attach it to an attachment that's on my camera that I had made a long while back. The attachment just holds the wires into my camera whenever I have my camera hooked up to my computer, so the wires don't droop out of my camera and damage my ports or whatever. But all I needed to do is put those together so I don't have like 16 different little quarter 20 bolts sticking out of my camera just to have two attachments in there, and also I can take them out a lot quicker. Anywho, doesn't matter. Let's get that done. Alright, I can't see my screen. I don't really know how else to show this, but it's finished. It's obviously in very early prototype stage. I don't know if you can see anything, but I had to Dremel out a thing so I can get the quarter 20 screw thing in there. I just stole it off of an older tripod thing. So I'm just gonna show how this works really quick, just because I think people might be interested in whatever. Here's my little wire holder thing. Gonna shove it on there, right? And now it's officially on the camera. You take your little thing and you screw it in. That is screwed in now. And then you just take it and you put it on your little thingy thing, right? And it's cool, it's awesome. This is obviously very early prototype. One issue, the final products of all of these things that I have made so far and all the future things that will be shown in the next like 5 to 6 minutes of this video will all end up being carbon fiber filament. PG, I don't know if it's gonna be flexible, okay? So this might be our only part that is not our black carbon fiber, right? But this will be, everything else will be, so this will be kind of like an eyesore, and it'll be the only thing, will be the main thing that I see the most, I suppose. I feel like I'm tangenting. I should have, anyway, move on, carry on, next. Now we can finally move back over to the laser framer. This time though, we're gonna start on the mount. At first, I thought I wanted to put all of this into a camera cage that would be indefinitely on my camera, but I realized that was dumb. So now I will be attaching it to the quick connect on my camera arm for the desk. I had a couple of tests, trials, and errors, but we finally landed on this. I had to put this on because I spun the other one till the bolt bored itself out of the hole, but we have to talk about the laser orientation. To ensure it matches the camera frame, it has to match the aspect ratio, 16:9, but that's not what I did. I did get the measurements to achieve that goal, but I honestly just forgot about them whenever I was making the frame. So hopefully it just works with no issues. But for now, let's put the electronics in this frame and see if it does its job. Alright, so here is our laser framer. Very beginning stages, it's a mess right now, and I apologize for this awkward setup. I'm gonna plug this in. It might break. Let's just hope and pray that it doesn't. We have our green and our yellow potentiometers or dials. Yellow is our motors. Pretty freaking cool, dude. Green is our laser intensity or brightness. You can turn it all the way down to off even. And then all the way up to not super bright, but like relatively bright. I think the resistors, I have 100 ohm resistors on here that make them kind of dim them down. The one that I tried was brighter. It could have just been that one, and that's the only one that I'm not using. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the resistors that I'm using to keep them from, oh, and I unplugged, it's obviously a ginormous mess right now. And I don't want to deal with it, but I have to, or else this is gonna be a crappy video and a crappy product. The next time you will see this, there won't be as many wires sticking out, I hope, and it will also be printed in carbon fiber, and it'll be super pretty and awesome. And then you all will look at it and you'll be like, whoa, Trace, that's awesome, I love that. Anywho, I think we can start on this monitor now. It can tilt upwards or downwards, and I'm not too worried about moving it vertically up and down. But swiveling, on the other hand, I wanted a way to rotate the monitor and lock it into place at whatever angle I desire, so I can actually see it from where I please. My idea was pretty simple. 2 mirrored halves that clamp onto the bar and on the next piece that will be attached to the monitor. We'll call this part the clamp. Then add a piece with teeth that click into place at different angles. That's the swivel. My first attempt had teeth that were way too big, so the angles were massive, not precise at all. The second attempt didn't even fit. One tiny corner warped, and that was enough to ruin the whole print. But I fixed most of my mistakes and moved on to designing the piece that actually attaches the swivel to the monitor itself. That meant measuring all the holes on the original mount and building something that would pressure fit onto the monitor arm. We'll call this one the sock. I wanted it snug, tight enough to pressure fit it, but I definitely overdid it. I had to tap it in with a hammer, but don't worry, I used a stack of post-it notes as a cushion so I didn't dent anything. Still, it got stuck, which is terrifying when you're dealing with an LCD. I have no idea what kind of black magic makes liquid crystals liquid, but I'd rather not find out by cracking the screen. So, a little surgery was required.
Easy peasy.
This time, I made the sock a little less tight, and finally, it fits the way I need it to. It swivels, it locks, it's good enough for what we need. Now let's move on to my tablet mount. This is my very first 3D printing project, and we have a couple of things to fix on it. First off, I just want to lose this pin holder because it's in my way most of the time, and also it's just way too bulky. I want to add a top support to keep me from knocking my tablet over while swiveling from computer side to art side, because I cannot tell you how many times I have dropped my tablet due to not having something at the top holding it in place.
Bro, I didn't even mean to do that.
I'm trying to get a completely different shot, and it did it like that, exactly.
That's what I'm complaining about.
Now that's done, I can tell you that top part gave me a lot of issues, of which I didn't even record because I didn't think I'd have to. But it's all over now, and it probably didn't even happen because it's not on video. Anyway, I want to show you something. How do you like this new vlog, this vlog trace? It's pretty cool, huh? Oh, look, how convenient. I have... This thing is in my way, this monitor. He's kind of in my way too much. Ah, now I can get to the thing that I was trying to get to. I'm sure I had that in frame. This is our light extender. You just take the leverage off, or the weight off this side, because it's all leaning, like, again, it's like pinching itself. So you just take the weight off, and you can do where you just want to, you can just put it wherever you want, dude, and it stays there forever. So I want to do some organizing with all this stuff that's on my table, or my so all this stuff that's on my table right here it's a mess. So I would take most of it, mainly the those bad boys, the what are they called? Am I dumb? Plan is take paintbrushes. Let me grab them. We take this bad boy right here, this specific little adapter thing without the bolt attachment. I'll probably just take that off and turn it into like a little nub. And then I'm going to attach it to a cup like this. And then I'm going to have multiple of those at varying sizes. And I will also have like little inserts for, let's say, an X-Acto knife or Die Self knife, I mean, because X-Acto is a brand if you didn't know, I think. Is that true? Is that true? And other things like airbrush, my Dremel, and heat iron, wood burner, soldering iron. Another tangent. Okay, let's move on before this video is an hour long. I finished it with no issues or complaints. It works as expected. Now I just need to make a bunch of other attachments to hold all of my other loose doodads. Okay, so the next print is done, and it looks rather nice. I didn't expect it to look so nice and like clean. I thought this was gonna look a little tacky, like all these raised edges. I thought that it was gonna look pretty bad, but I think it looks rather nice and not nearly, for some reason I was imagining it to be bigger, but it's okay. We're on the right track. I wanted to try all of the parts together, like holding the tools, because this is first print, first try. I want to see if I got everything right the first try. So this is like our scissors and our two other things. We're gonna go biggest to smallest. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, it fits. It's just a tight squeeze. And it fits rather, the scissors are a little loose, but everything else is fine. It's probably better that way, honestly. And then big screwdriver. Matches. Hey, that's a really nice fit. That's really nice. Cool. Sweet, dude. And then little screwdriver. Awesome. That's, everything fits perfectly, dude. I'm so good at this. All right, now tape. This ends for tape and stuff. I didn't want to go too far with it, just to hold on to it, and then I can do whatever I want with it, be able to throw it on and off. I'm gonna go ahead and try and put this on. Look at that. Look how cute that is. I made that, dude. I think I'm gonna move them all over. Scissors are too close. This guy has not far to go. Let's actually check. I would guess about a 1/4 inch or a little bit less. Where's my calipers? Where's my calipers? Honey, where are my pants? Oh shoot. Okay, so we have about 0.3 inch. What is 0.3? A little over a 1/4. Pretty freaking sweet, dude. Also, I'd like to show you something rather obnoxious, and it has been getting on my nerves this whole entire freaking like 4 hours that I've been working today. Just wait and watch, dude. So this is Fusion 360. I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm gonna tell the world because I hate it. This is the next print that I'm working on. It's for my ironing thing. When I try to navigate this world, I'm gonna show you. I'm going to try and twist the model this way. So I'm trying to look at this side, like the butt of the attachment. How you would think you would do that is you would just twist it. But whenever I attempt to just twist, Oh, look at that. Moving it from left to right freaking makes it dance around. Like, what on earth is that? What I can only assume it's working off of the actual world's axes instead of the camera's axis. Fusion 360's navigation feels funny and confusing because the rotation is tied to the model's axis and not the camera's point of view. For example, whenever you are viewing a model from underneath and you attempt to rotate the model by clicking and dragging from right to left, Fusion will spin around the world's Z-axis instead of the world's Y-axis relative to your screen. The result of this is motion that does not match your hand movement and is very confusing and unintuitive. It's hard to explain, but it's so unintuitive just trying to navigate. It's so frustrating. I don't want to pilot a freaking Boeing 747. That print came out great. All the pieces were a little bit of a tight squeeze, which is good for the small pieces so they don't fall out or anything. Can't really say the same for the actual iron. But also, we have a cable tie slot so we can hold the wires for the iron, and everything seems alright for now. I made this little condiment cup holder for the cups that I mix my paints in. Not really much to say, but it is probably my most anticipated print because the loose empty cups on my desk at all times is just the worst, honestly. But that's really all I know what to say about it, so let's move on to the new power strip I just bought. This power strip will allow me to plug anything in at arm's reach without worrying about cord length or having to get up from my chair. There was nowhere to really screw into this, so I decided to just replace the entire back of the device, and it took a couple tries and a ton of filament, but I finished it. Now, I didn't really do the bar attachment right, but a quick dremeling can fix anything. I have this USB hub that just kind of hangs wherever it can, but I want to make it so the USB hub is nice and accessible for anything I'm using. Anyway, it's a perfect fit as always, and now we just need to manage these cables. And I just made a cable holder thing to fit onto the bar. I'll show you really quick. It goes like that, and then the cables fit through. I don't have any cables to demonstrate, but just trust that it works. And I'm gonna make another one with these magnets that are gonna go on my desk legs via magnets. I don't know why I keep on saying via. What else? Oh, I also have nuts, bolts, screws for all these things like this. For example, there's little plastic screws on here. That looks like a kid's toy. They're plastic and weird, like it's weird. I'm gonna take these fat parts off and then make it so I can just screw screws in. And also I have better ways to attach things. And also I still have to finish the stupid laser framer project. I'm going to switch out the nozzle on my Bamboo Labs P1P to a hardened steel 0.04 millimeter nozzle, along with a gear for the extrusion process for a harder filament. I suppose I didn't look into it other than, oh, you should buy this, Trace. So I bought it. Okay. I'm really susceptible to salesmen or, a website that was like, these are frequently bought together. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anywho, I'm going to do that, or we are going to do that. All right, let's do that. Thank you. I lost my light tripod to hold on to my wires. Wires, what am I talking about? Filament. I didn't accidentally. I took it off of the roll. I don't know what I thought would happen, but it's not. This is not. It works. I printed this. I was gonna make a grave. I made a grave mistake joke. I modeled and 3D printed this grave. I was gonna do a funny bit, and then this really just tore me out of it, but it works. It works. I'm just gonna keep it like this because I'm gonna test print everything into like a new filament, and then I'm gonna switch over to the carbon fiber filament, and I'm gonna maybe buy some black PLA. You're really far down because I wanted to show you the thing, and nothing's even in front. This is a freaking mess, dude. Anyway, cut to cool montage of cool prints being printed and whatever. See you later. There is no montage. A bunch of life events have happened since that last clip, and it's been, before that last clip actually, but I have not touched that desk in like 6 months. I haven't looked at the video in 6 months. I haven't done anything with it. But as you can see, I'm not in my office. Therefore, my desk is not near me. I'm unable to work on it right now. I do not want to feel like I've wasted all my time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and post this video as is. A bunch of very inconvenient things have happened. Finally got my good computer here so I can actually work on the video and get it posted and out there so it's not just sitting. I do plan on finishing my laser framer and printing all of those things in PLA black. No, not carbon fiber anymore because it's just way too hard. It's brittle. There's no flexibility to it. Majority of the things that just slid onto the bars needed flexibility to grip because it would stretch over the bar and wedge, if that makes sense, any sense at all. Anyway, that video was supposed to be the most efficient, best video I could put out, most high quality, best possible, and it's just, everything just kind of went downhill. It was really good. I started getting like a nice little flow towards the end, and then you could see the moment where I just kind of like completely broke off, and then everything just kind of started dragging out. At the Fusion 360 complaint is whenever everything started to fall apart. Like that was like peak moment of, man, I'm getting a nice little groove going. This is going to be healthy for my future videos and this current video. But then life stuff happened and everything just kind of fell off the cliff. I've been doing art stuff and it's really nice to be able to do art stuff without having to film it. Though I do love filming and I want to be able to film stuff in the future. Anyway, with the final goodbye right now, I don't have any B-roll of the desk. If I do, I'll whatever. I don't even think I have a picture of the desk. I don't even know what to do with for the thumbnail. Thank you for watching. Super very sweet of you. I hope this was enjoyable and not a disappointment. Please give me ideas and support. Bye-bye.